Alright everybody, welcome back to the final round back nine coverage of the Music City Open. This is MP40. Shout out to Music City Disc Golf for inviting us down, letting us come down and cover this and having us out. We have Justin Bunnell, Jeffrey Casalina, Matt Crider, and Jason Elsner on the card. Justin with a good commanding lead, only playing 2 down through the front 9. We have a couple players who had some really strong rounds. David Hartless is one of them. He's 3 down through 9, so he's making a run. And then Josh Hawk from round 1 is having a good final round here through the first 9 holes, as we have hole 10 at the elevated basket. This is a par 4, but it played 0.6 over or under par, so almost a half or over a half stroke under par for hole 10 at 3.41. There were a couple eagles on it. So we're watching the players tee off. Still some rain coming in. Off and on, nothing too heavy, luckily. I know the umbrellas would come out and then they'd go away. Was never too crazy. We filmed in some pretty nasty conditions in the past, but this one wasn't bad. We were prepared for it, and thankfully we over-prepared. This looks good. It's still got to get left and up. All the ground play went over all the mud. This hole, where they're landing down there, and then hole 8 were 2 of the muddiest holes on the course, if I remember correctly, as far as like where disc going to land. So that was a great skip by Matt there to get over all that. Good upshot by Jeff to get him inside circle. Should be able to clean up that putt. So you got guys coming in close, and like Jason here put himself like inside the wood, so he's gonna have a drop-in birdie. But then it's like you got players with Matt and Justin who they're pretty much throwing 10-15 foot eagles. So I said we had 3 on the day, and there's one of the 3 by Matt, and we'll see if Justin can get in there. Yep, and then the other one was Charles Godry. Now, again, sorry if I messed that one up. So 3 eagles on this hole, lots of birdies. So if you're with us for the front 9 of this final round, pretty much just I filmed catch cam for Skyheiser. I do a lot of the editing. I've been with it the longest. I founded it. And so the other commentary group who did an amazing job for rounds 1 and 2, they weren't able to get through round 3, and we want to get the coverage out. And so we thought it was a good opportunity to try more of a behind the scenes thing. So I'm not going to hit as much on what's happening in the coverage as we watch it unfold in front of us, but kind of what we're thinking. And this was a hole that I really was hoping that we were going to see an ace on or something close to it. It's pretty much just straight ahead. It's uphill, so you can give it a good run. At 204, you can even, if it were me, that looked great out of the hand. If it were me, like I'd be discing up to probably an Explorer, and just anything but metal would be a disappointment on a hole like this, with where it's a fairly open gap. That looked like it could have had it. It had the height. It just stayed straight on it. It flipped up flat, which he probably wanted it to do. And it's just half a foot off to the right. So yeah, I really hope to maybe see some good ace runs on that hole, and there were a couple good drives that I initially thought we were going to we're going to be right there, and then they either held out too long to the right or they lost steam up this hill, up the slope here. Great putt. Mark in the background with his umbrella on the over the camera. Jeff not to be outdone. So I said through the front nine coverage, like, if we try to hit on some things that we're doing, some things that we're trying, and if it's something that you like or don't like, let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think. Maybe me and Mark can do some more commentary like this here, just giving you our perspective of the course and the rounds or a whole tournament as we go. Like, this is the final round of what was a good event. I think this is a great final
We're made
course.
first. We create immersive and tangible experiences that elevate your brand and engage audiences. Whatever you visualize, we bring it to life through design and fabrication in our Los Angeles and Nashville facilities. Our artists and craftsmen create everything from stage and set designs to retail environments, trade show displays, and large-scale props. Welcome to Made First. Let's build the impossible together.
All 3 days really felt like we had different types of weather to go along with the 3 different styles of courses. Like, this is, it got the elevation changes, and you can tell it's a more beat in, more open fairway course. Seven Oaks was really technical and tight for the most part, with some different types of ground play, and Cane Ridge was a lot longer, still in the woods like the first 2, but just longer. We watched Justin's shot come in. Hole 12 played .08 over par, and so not the hardest, but not the easiest. Right, kind of right in the middle. One of those holes here. It's similar to hole 11, just a lot further, and the way it shapes up off the tee, you kind of want to throw that backhand turnover or a straight, slowly fading forehand. Throwing up, like I said earlier, throwing uphill, trying to throw straight uphill or straight with a slight turnover can really, especially towards the end of a tournament, late in the round, can really be a tough shot to pull off. It can be tiresome. At 276, I'm sure it's playing close to 310. So you're trying to figure out, like, am I gonna throw what looks like a mid-range or approach, or am I throwing, a familiar fairway driver that I know is gonna do certain things but not throw too hard? A lot going into, like, a lot of things going into this. And then as a cameraman, it's like, where am I going to go to catch everything coming up the hill? Hopefully catch an ace. But then at the same time knowing that I have to get to the basket on the next hole. So when they start hitting trees like they did, how late am I going to stay? I hit on that one earlier, and I was saying there's a couple holes that have a couple good walks in it. And I think the 2 next longest walks are coming up in this 9. On this course. Long walks from a catch cam standpoint. Justin thinking the basket there on his way out. And that birdie by Justin takes him to 4 under on just the back 9. He started this off with the eagle, and then birdie on 11, and now birdie on 12. Definitely getting into a couple easier holes here. or at least holes that are just more in the range compared to holes like 6, 7, and 8 that the players had to travel through. 1 and 2 were long. Here's one of those new camera angles we had. So you're starting off on the left side, and it's just an open hyzer shot up to the basket. Not too much of a low ceiling. You want to keep it in the middle, something that's gonna. I'd be throwing something that's gonna flip up, and then kind of hold a glide to get around the turn. You're around the corner here, or you throw something overstable high. Yep. Or throw something hard and low that's going to skip. Oh, and that was a great one. Man, filming that one, I was like, oh, I hope don't miss an ace opportunity in this. So I remember thinking that now. Here's that low skipping shot. Just a tough kick off the tree. Threw the perfect shot. Threw probably exactly what he wanted. Pushed it a little long, but another high hyzer. That was tough. That came in so hot. He hit the base of the tree. When they came up there and seen it, I told him, I was like, Matt, you parked it, and then the tree kicked you 40 feet backwards. Here's more of that slow turning, hold a glide, get you out in the middle, and just hold that line shot. Usually when I film that, when I get in on them to get their reaction as they line up the putt, and then I zoom out, like, it makes it so much better for when they make it. Great putt. Man, that was a great putt, especially with that kickback. You go back to round 1, hole 9. If you haven't seen it, spoiler, Jeff makes a really amazing putt for a 2. But we did that. Like, we zoomed in, got him staring down the basket, and then we zoomed all the way out to where it's just him in the basket, and, like, he just drains it. And I was so pumped. Like, I was so excited that the whole shot just worked out from my standpoint. So that takes Justin to 5 under through 4 on the back 9. Definitely playing the course and just getting him what he can when it fits his game. And he's not really going after anything. He's just throwing the shots that he wants, and he's executing them. And Josh Hawk right now, he's 4 under. He birdied 9 through 12, so he's making a run at it. I think he was on chase card. He played round 1 for us on feature card. Yeah, this is a tough hole. I'm kind of off to the left of the basket in front of it. I hate being in that position, but it's like with the way the trees were, you know, like the first 2 here, they've hit them, got caught up in them. If anybody could throw a shot at me that hyzered to the pin, or that faded out to the pin on a forehand, which I think Jeff's trying to do, I was hoping to be in position to be able to catch that. I don't like being between the players and the basket, but there's some holes that shape up that way. Never directly in the way unless it's a really long hole. That's the best one yet. That's pin high. Yep. Glad I was where I was at, though. I was able to catch the whole flight of that disc. I think at this point the rain stopped and we're not looking at any more of the rest of the round, so that was nice to have. Hole 14, it played over par, just barely. So hole 13, if I didn't say it, was 0.19 under, and this is 0.19 over. And that's probably why, like, very few bogeys on the hole, but very few birdies at the same time. full commitment. Good effort. So the furthest drive of on the hole, pin high here. It's just been one of those days. And at the same time, like, unless players are just playing lights out and they're passing you, like, you know, he's still in it for a par. Definitely not the results you want after a drive like that, but like these guys, they don't make mistakes, and that's why they're on this coverage, why they're on this card at an A tier like this, is that they make the fewest mistakes. Hole 15. So we had a backup here, and I remember hearing about it. I was further down the fairway walking with the group in front of us, but Jeff walks down here somewhere around here, and he like puts an X on the ground, and it's out of the sight of the tee. Like, he had no idea where it was at. It wasn't definitely no directional aid, just like, but he took 2 sticks, put an X on the ground, and says, "I'm gonna throw it right here." And like I said, you couldn't see it, and so you know, making light of it, having fun with it, but he knew where he wanted to land. Hole 15, played over par. I feel like that's probably a pretty common result here, is something turn over, get over the hill, and then it's going to finish in those woods, which with the basket placement ain't bad. You get a hyzer in there. It's a tough shot from the catch cam side because you can't see him throwing. But yeah, Jeff's X was right where his disc is at. Like, put it on the money, they said. This looked good. Great crush. Good distance. Out of the woods, right with the other 3. You can see the X is on the ground. Jeff's probably a foot short and right of him, so I mean, that's pretty funny. I heard about it, and even in editing, I didn't notice it until just now. And then I was talking to somebody about how we're gonna do a behind the scenes coverage of this, and they were like, "Don't forget about hole 15." I hit that limb, that little ghost limb hanging out there. I was like, why did that disc just cut so hard? And then I seen it moving. Laying down a roller. Getting it. Yeah, definitely inside the circle too. Probably in one, or right around the edge of one even. .54-hole tournament. We're on hole 51. Some long courses that these guys were playing. Just hang on to what you have, especially when Justin's playing the way he is and other players are. If you're looking at the scoreboard at this point, if you're a competitor, you know, protect what you got. Don't give up anymore. And if, you know, with the battle that we're seeing between Jeff and Matt, like, you know that if you can at least beat that one player, you're gonna finish good here, because they're both playing really good golf right now. And Jason's not fully out of it. There's still 3 holes left. Yeah, definitely inside circle 1. I'll give him that for that putt. We filmed Justin a lot last year. He is a putting machine. Drive for show, putt for dough. But even as the camera crew, even, you know, 1 round a day tee times, I think we were staying up till 1 a.m. Editing footage and graphic work. And so that's been our goal this year, is just to get that out quicker. The holdup that we run into now is commentary. You know, we really want tournaments to have that option to have their own commentary, and people want to do it. They think it sounds great to be on the mic, and even me doing it right now to get the footage out, like as this behind the scenes deal, like it can be hard to get people together to do it and the sound, make it sound right. But like the crew that they had round 1 and 2 did an absolute great job. Justin was a part of that. Go back and check them out. Let them guys know in the comments. Two holes back to back. Sitting there on the camera, I'm pretty much holding the camera where I think the tee's at. I try to stand and like judge where the tee and the basket's at, and then get in position when I'm walking to the hole. And this had such a long walk from 15's basket to this hole that I had to run, and I didn't have as much time. And so I'm like, okay, if I just stand off to the left of it, and I'm holding the camera up towards the sky, trying to get more of the grass in the view to keep like the exposure down, so it's not so bright when the disc first come in. You can see it like changing the brightness. But like just being so blind to the tee, it's like you hold the camera where I think they're going to be, and then I got to zoom, and I look through and I see everything that I'm capturing, and then I'm not even looking at the camera on any of those tee shots. I never look at the camera. I just look over the top of it like it's a sight, and I try to just target the disc and follow it. Great putt by Justin. Man, he is 7 down on the back 9. I think I walked past him. I left after he made that putt because Mark could get all the other ones closer together. And I remember walking past Justin. I'm like, what are you doing? He said, I don't know. He laughed it off. Like, he knows that he's got a big lead, and like ran that huge putt, and I was just crazy. Like, he was just on it. Dead center chains. Back of the basket. The card was a lot of fun. All 3 cards that we filmed this weekend were a lot of fun. Seen some good putts. Dutch put on a putting clinic for us when he was on coverage. Kirk and his forehand throw in. And then Justin this back 9 on the final round here. Coming in hole 17, played exactly even par for the day for MP40. That'll do, yeah. Little early. This was another one where I kind of hoped, I knew an ace on this hole would be a bad miss, but I really hoped that we could see somebody get in there close and then Matt's shot here, this was just fun. Like watching a disc come over the hill, like not many people get that angle of it unless you're watching coverage, but you see a disc sliding down the hill and moving the way it did, and that Hawk Lab logo on it just looks really cool. I enjoy that part of it. I really enjoy the catch cam side of disc golf, just about as much as playing, if not more. Seeing things from a different angle, seeing shots from a different angle. That was a good bid. I really thought he had it. Not just that, but like going back when we edit these things, and like you're looking at every shot frame by frame at times, especially a lot of the tee shots, really lining up your footage, and you can, it's like getting free how-to videos on how to throw a disc every tournament, seeing all the different styles, filming players like Jake Hebenheimer and his horseshoe putting and just breaking it down, seeing how he does it, or somebody like Dutch and his putting form. That is a solid beard, by the way, Matt. Shout out to the beard. Justin's is no slouch either. Good beards and good putting go hand in hand, it seems. Trying not to ramble on much on you guys. I really appreciate it as we watch the final few tap out here on 17. Well, Jason doesn't have much of a tap out, but all day makes. But coming in 18 now, yeah, just.
Welcome to Music City Disc Golf. We are a 501c3 nonprofit public charity here in Nashville, Tennessee. We strive on including men, women, juniors, and providing competition for all skill levels. We would like you to come be a part of Music City Disc Golf.
Go back to what I was saying though, like coming in 18. This hole played 1.1 over par. Probably the hardest hole of the whole tournament to par. Big shot off the tee, big second shot through the woods, and then you get to play a par 3 pretty much is how I seen it. Mark here in a different angle. We tried this round 2 on hole 1. And I think he did it on hole 18, just trying to get a front view here. As a two-man crew, it can be hard to get different angles, to capture different views. And I liked it. Like it can, when it works, it looks good, and you can see the players' expressions. Justin came out early on his tee. Mark's got a lot of faith in that I'm able to catch everything off of the drives, which on this hole wasn't too hard. I could be in a spot and. Yeah, like that right there. That's exactly what I was hoping to see 4 times. Be in a spot where I can catch him coming out the tunnel here. And honestly, like as a catch cam videographer, I hope to see shots like Matt's. Oh, that one came out. Every time. Like I want to see everybody throw the perfect tee shot. Just to get that full flight of the disc. Always pulling for great shots. And big putts. Little inside too. And we got all that, you can't even see the basket from here, all that way to travel. Had a good little gallery, couple staff members, couple players from MP40 and 60 coming back around to watch them. Tournament director Dr. Hoy. Shout out to Doc for letting us stay there on that side of town. Had some great eateries over there and a great host. Allowed us to really get a lot of the content done. I think we had every round was edited and done before the next round started. So for a two-man crew to be that close to like next day turnaround is huge, and that's what we're shooting for. We definitely would love to have next day turnaround on every tournament. I know when I started Skyheiser, that was the goal, was to film any event that wanted to be filmed, and players and tournaments and courses, just to showcase them all. Get players, we see players that'll be on tour at certain parts of the season when it gets close to them, or like if we're filming early or late in the season, we get players taking down limbs, Jeff. And then we also get players that might not ever get a chance to be on like the big coverage or the big channels. And so we just want to showcase all these skills, like players like Matt here and Jason here, or Kirk and Jeff and Josh, like those guys that can tear it up. Like, I mean, Jason shooting 11 down at Seven Oaks. That could have been so great if we could have had that on coverage. And not just like the Music City area, like the St. Louis players that we filmed. Shout out to that whole group of people in St. Louis, St. Charles. We filmed some local legends up in Fort Wayne, and like that's our whole point of Skyheiser, is just to film everybody that we can. Give every tournament the best coverage possible. And we're working hard to get to that next day turnaround. Unless it's 2 rounds in one day, then we're going to be working even harder to get it, but it'll be a tough one. Great upshot. Filming this hole took probably the longest to play of any hole in the tournament, with the amount of tree kicks that we had. And I felt like we just flew right through it, so sorry if I was rambling on, everybody, as we watch these guys throw their upshots and approaches here. Again, no birdies on the day. Played a whole stroke over par. Hole 18. It had 7 pars in the whole field. Kurt took a par, or Jeffrey took a par there.
2022 Music City Open presented by Dynamic Disc, MP40 champion Justin Bunnell.
I think this is the
Thanks, guys.
third tournament we filmed that Justin's won.
You guys really do a good job. I can't say that I contribute too much, but you guys do great. Thank you. Doc, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, Justin from 9 under on the round. The only one under for the card. 26 in the tournament. Hot round for the day. Like I said, David made a run at it. Josh Hawk, both shooting 5 down for the tournament. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and share it. Like, that's how we help these help these events out is, if we get these shares for the footage, especially the MP40 guys and any other tournament we film, the more it's shared, the more it can benefit the tournament and the players and get them the recognition and get the courses the recognition that they all deserve. Thank you.